A video about boning out chicken legs and making chicken stock with the bones and that type of thing. So I don't particularly buy breast of chicken because I think it's a bit pappy and there's no flavour to it. So I always buy legs which contain the drumsticks and the thighs, which are there. There's just much more flavour in it. It cooks. You have to cook it a little bit longer, but it's much more juicy and lots more flavour to it. So to get the meat off them, there's a few things that we need to do, and we're not going to waste anything because we don't like waste. So legs, we just need to, as you can see there are two what are called the scallops, and what we need to do is press on those and pull the legs back, and then that will desiccate the legs like that, so it does that, and then we can see that there is a bone poking through just there. So whip off those bits, I don't know what they're called, part of the foot. I'm going to put them in the stock. There's not much flavour there, but there is jelly and there is goodness within them, so I'm not going to throw something the way that's got a little bit of flavour and got some jelly in it. It might as well get used up in the stock. So small sharp knife, we're going to go along here and then round there type of thing, which will scoop out that little scallop of meat there, and then we're going to carry on. We're going to go down the bone, down the centre of the backbone, and we're going to take as much meat off as we can. We're not going to be perfect because my knife skills aren't brilliant. So in and down, which will take the little bit of scallop out, and then find your way along. So kind of goes through there, goes in between the joint, then along the backbone, across there. So we're taking quite a lot of meat off. We've got a little bit left there, but that's quite close to the gristle. So we'll do the other side. So in to the scallop there, tease that away from the bone. It's a nice bit of meat, and it's particularly the best bit of meat on the chicken, if I'm honest, so we don't want to waste that. So on there, and feel your way along the bone along the back, and then that's there. So that's fine. This is going to go into stock. The pelvis is going to go into stock. So we need to cut the parson's nose off. I don't know what it's called in other countries, but we call it the parson's nose. Probably because it looks like a parson's nose. So shave off fat there and the skin, and that's going to go on the bone pile. You can, just underneath the back there, you will see those are the kidneys. If you want to, you can spend some time cutting into and prizing them apart and get the kidneys out. It's just a bit of a faff. I'm not that desperate for the kidneys, but they are delicious fried up and spread on toast. If you're into offal, they are delicious. Treat them like livers. They're delicious. Those. So that goes on the bones pile, which is going to go in stock. That goes on the fat pile. So skin, I don't want it on. I want it off because I'm going to render the fat down from the skin. So we just tease it away from the flesh like that, and then pull. It should come off straight easy. That's that. And then we're left with the leg like that. We'll just whip off that bit of fat there. I'm not scared of fat in cooking. When I'm cooking something like a stew or a casserole, I don't like seeing a lot of fat floating on the top of things that you have to skim off. So we'll just remove that, and we're going to render it down so we'll get a bigger yield at the rendering. Right, so this is the way I do it. It's probably not the right way to do it, but this is where I've always done it, and I find the easiest. So always be careful with knives. I kind of know what I'm doing, so it's not too bad. So we'll score down one side of the bone, and then we'll tease the meat away from the other side of the bone there. We'll go around the back, keeping your fingers out of the way. So that's that. So then the bone is completely away there. That's the little scallop there. That's the good stuff. And then we'll go straight down the bone there. Find the bone on the inside. We can see it's there. So tease the meat away from the bone on that side. Tease the meat away from the bone on that side. Push the knife through. Careful of fingers. And then nearly took my fingers, and then cut through the meat there, there are some tendons there, we'll cut those off in a minute. This is a little bit more tricky. You just need to tease the meat away from the, the joint. You don't have to do this. You can just buy them already done, but you don't get the bones, and I want to make some stock. So, and it's a cheaper way. The more you have to do to a piece of meat, the cheaper generally they are. So, much cheaper to buy a whole animal and break it down yourself than it is to buy it already pre-jointed. So, teasing around the meat, away from the bone. There is just a sharp bone there that we just need to be careful of. We don't want that going in the meat. And then, there we go, cut through. Pretty clean bone. That's going to go on the stockpile. And then we're left with the leg meat. We'll just neaten that up. Take that bit of fat off. And then, as we can see, the tendons there, they're not very nice to eat. They take a long time to cook, much longer than anything else. So what we're going to do is just going to whip that off there and pull, and that'll pull some of the tendons out, a little bit of the meat, but that doesn't matter. Like that. That's going to go on the stockpile. There you go. That's that. So we'll do the other one as well, and then you can see. So, skin off, tease it away from the leg, pull. Bit of spare fat and skin there. Actually, there's more meat on that. So, that's fat. That's sinewy meat. So, sinewy meat goes into the stockpile because you want the collagen from the sinews to make the stock nice and jellified. So, tease out any bits of fat, excess fat there, like that. Want that off. There will be better videos online of how to do this. This is just my preferred method. So, go a little bit quicker this time. So, down the side of the bone, through, and pop that bit off. Down the bone, find the bone, go down either side of the bone, through, and pop that bit off, and then just tease the meat away from the joint, just with the edge of the knife. Just be careful because your finger's going to be at the other side. There we go, nice clean bone-ish. Just have a quick look at this. Is there any more fat we want to take off? A bit of fat can come off. That's all fine. And then we'll just whip off the tendons there, just so we can get rid of them. No, that works well. Go, that goes in the stockpile. There we go, we just missed something there. So as you can see there, as we touched it, there's just a little bit of bone, so that goes on the stockpile. It's only a little bit, but all those little bits count. So there we go. So that's that. Chicken prepped into different parts. Bone pile, rendered down fat pile, and then chicken meat pile. Freezes really well. We'll just whip that off. And there we go. That goes in there. And that's it for now.